I'm here today because there's some things that need discussed. I am getting harassed. Let's talk about it. You know, for a long period of my life, I really didn't understand what was happening or where the harassment was coming from. But I've since come to realize it was obvious. The very person who faked their deaths to become me is behind it all. And let's see, I got stopped for a brake light that was out, and my brake light went out because someone hit my car with an energy weapon. But I didn't get a ticket, but I told the officer I would get it fixed right away. So that happened. And then I get a ticket for going to the beach and not having a sticker on my car. But the last time I lived here, I didn't have to pay to park. But suddenly they've got this new rule, and I have a parking ticket because I didn't know that. Okay, there's no excuse for ignorance of the law. I understand that. But could it have been a warning instead of a ticket? So then I get a letter in the mail. First, let me say the parking ticket had a picture of my license plate. So then I get another letter in the mail saying I was going 32 in a school zone, which could not be true because everyone that knows me knows that I drive slow, and especially by a school. So they had took a picture of my driver's license or my plate and kept it on file, and then now they're sending me letters. But this wasn't a ticket, it was just a warning. Isn't that strange? So then I renew my lease, and they keep sending me stuff about that I have to pay another deposit, that all this stuff that wasn't discussed during the lease signing. And then something about the pet thing had to be renewed. Okay, what? So then today I get my mail and I've got something coming from the tax office. And they just keep piling it on. And this Truman Show has retired. And no, you're not taking my license. And no, you're not going to charge me a fine. And no, I don't owe taxes. And I have had about 55 calls from tax offices saying I owe taxes. Well, let's see about that. Half of my Social Security is taxable. Uh, I haven't made over 25,000 in a year. Yeah. Seems to be a little conspiracy, and I think it's coming from my big sister because she took over my Fifth Third account in 2009. Had my statements coming to her house, and they had stole all my personal documents and then brought them back because I reported them stolen. And since they're hacked into my phone, they knew everything I was doing on my phone. But yet I'm stupid, right? You know, there's this thing saying you can't fight City Hall. I just give my problems to God. He's going to take care of them one way or another. I don't have to do anything. I can sit here and smile and know that God has my back. And the wrongdoers and the pretend good doers, they're about to find out why everything that I say is the truth. And when they go in, have somebody look up who your doctor is through a insurance database, and they breach insurance files and medical records, which I have proof of. That's a pretty big crime. And when you go talk to someone's doctor and tell them they're crazy, and you have been saying this for years, but the funny thing of it is, I've not hurt no one. I've not tried to hurt myself. But there's all these things written about me that aren't true. You see, I was trafficked by a family member. And in order to get no one to listen to my story, she has to say I'm crazy. So she has to find out who my doctors are, so she can go there and bribe them with my money from my bank account to write things in my records that aren't true. And I've got a copy of that record too. And it's not in my house. And it's not in my purse. But I've got evidence on everything I'm saying. All the harassments, all the house break-ins that I can't report because there's no one to take a report. And when I do make a report, they put stuff like my keys got taken and that I said someone came through the vents, trying to make me sound like a crazy person, which is things I never even said. So they take all these fabrications and try to make me look bad. And now I've got a letter coming from the tax office, but I don't owe taxes. And it's something to do with either my driver's license or my tags. And let's just hope it's to renew my tags, because if it's about taking my driver's license because of false notes and a doctor record, this kind of proves my story, right? You know, I'm no Joan of Arc, but I can tell you that I know things that people don't know how I know, but that's because they don't know God and what He has shown me in advance. So nothing you do surprises me. Your little mask that you wear that looks like a man, all your many different cars you drive that you think I don't know it's you. Big sis, you're caught. And they got a place called jail where you're going. And you might be taking some people with you if they don't get off my back. I'm not afraid of you, and I'm not afraid of all the people that you bribed. There is nothing that can scare me at this point. The things you have done to me and my life kept me from able to get jobs. You're going to pay for my Social Security for the last, 2015, 11 years. Figure that up. Because you are not a doctor And you said I was crazy. And you're not going to pay that money back with my money because you blocked my phone from being able to call Fifth Third Bank. And for some reason, they had all my addresses in their computer, but nothing was ever given to me. No statement, nothing. I'm starting to figure out why I was ran out of my residence, because as long as I lived in my residence, they could find me. But when I have to keep moving because of the crazy shit you have done to me, to make me look unstable, you run me out of my home. You're smart, but you're not smarter than God. And when he puts the gavel down, baby, it's too late. So to all your doctor friends and your police friends and your court friends, I wish them all the best, because I don't think in the end they're going to take your side. And they can keep the bribe money. But they're going to fix my record, because what you did to me was inhuman. And God saw everything. Big sister that faked your death. And the blood bank that copied my license, that gave you a copy so that you could get your picture on my driver's license. See, there's things that I know that you don't know how I know, but maybe if you stop doing illegal shit and start praying to God, maybe he would show you some truths too. See? With that, I'll close. Good day.